Recently, I attempted to ride every single ride in Islands of Adventure, and from doing that, I actually got to finish all the rides there that I've never been on. So today, I want to rank every single one from worst to best. There is one exception. I didn't get to go on Pteranodon Flyers because you do have to have a kid or somebody under like 40 inches or something. So I still haven't rode that. It won't be on this list, but as far as all the other rides, they are included in this list. So the first ride, and the one that is going to take the 17th spot, is going to be One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. It's just not aimed towards me. I'm like an older guy and it's more aimed towards kids. It's kind of like Dumbo over at Magic Kingdom, or a ride similar to that style. So it's not that it's bad, I just don't personally like it as much as all the other rides in the park. Number 16, we're sticking with Seuss's Landing, and it's going to be the Carousel. It's pretty much just a carousel, but with Dr. Seuss characters, so it's pretty cool. It's just kind of the same thing with the last ride. It's not aimed towards me, so I'm going to leave it for kids. They probably like it a lot more than I would, but it's not a bad ride, and yeah, that's number 16. For number 15, I'm going to give it to the Hogwarts Express. It's more of like a transportation system that takes you from Islands of Adventure to Universal Studios or vice versa, but I am going to count it as a ride because there are some elements that make it a ride instead of just a transportation system. So I'm going to put it at 15 just because of that. I do think it's kind of just for transportation, and that's the only reason you would really need to go on it. But it does technically count as a ride, so I'm going to put this at 15. You guys actually might be surprised at what I have at the next one, number 14. And I'm going to put Popeye and Bluto's Bilge Rat Barges here. And it's because my expectations were pretty high, because I've heard so many people say that it's one of the wettest water rides you can go on in Florida, stuff like that. And I went on it right after I went on Dudley Do-Rides for the first time, and I got way more wet on Dudley Do-Rides than I did this, and I just wasn't expecting that. So because of that, I'm probably going to have to put this at 14. It's not a bad ride, but it's not the greatest ride. I'm going to put it at 14. Also, the queue for this ride is like super long and big, and it was a walk-on. It was 5 minutes, and I felt like I walked for longer than 5 minutes just walking through the queue to ride it. And it's not even like a long line, and I've never really seen it a long line on the app whenever I check, so I don't know. Number 13 is going to go to the Flight of the Hippogriff, and it's just because it's more of a kiddie ride. It's only like 30 seconds long, and I just really don't like short rides unless they're like super good, and this one's not really like groundbreaking. It's a kiddie coaster and it's pretty short, so I'm going to put it at 13. Number 12 is also something that you might be surprised by, but I'm going to have to put Doctor Doom's Fearfall here, and it's pretty much the same reason why I put the last one at 13, Flight of the Hippogriff. Doctor Doom is so short. Like, you just get shot up, bounce like 2 times, and it's over. So if this ride is over like a 10-minute wait, I honestly don't see the reason I would want to ride it, especially in Islands of Adventure when there's so many other rides you can ride and use your time on. So I'm going to put this at number 12 just because it's super short and it's not like a crazy ride. Number 11 is going to go to the High in the Sky Seuss's Trolley Train ride, and because before I start, I want to go back to the last ride, Doctor Doom's Fearfall. There is one good thing, and that is the view. When you're up there, you can pretty much see the whole park. You can see over into the other park, but it only lasts like 10 seconds. So yes, it is a good view, but it's not a long view. With Seuss's Trolley Train ride, it goes around, like there's some super cool views. I think there's 2 different tracks you can go on. One of them takes you into where you get like the tater tots. I forget what that place is called. Circus McGurkus, I'm pretty sure. And the other track just takes you outside. I went on the one that takes you outside. I didn't go into the Circus McGurkus one, but I still really liked it because there were some super cool views. Like you can see Velocicoaster. I caught it when it was going up the hill. It was super cool. You can see Hulk. You can see pretty much the whole park just like you can at Dr. Doom's, but it just lasts longer, unlike Dr. Doom's. We have officially made it into the top 10 rides, and my number 10 spot is going to have to be the Cat in the Hat. Honestly, this ride is kind of creepy sometimes. Like the Thing 1 and Thing 2 guys are like, bro, they're creepy. And then you see like Cat in the Hat spinning. It's weird, but I think it's fun. You get some of the best air condition in the park, and it's just a chill, fun little dark ride. Next up at number 9 is going to go to Skull Island Reign of Kong. This ride isn't the best. I think it's still pretty fun, and I think a lot of people hate on it, and it's not as bad as people think, but it still isn't the best ride. The best part about it is probably the animatronic at the end. There's like this giant King Kong animatronic. It is super cool. Probably one of the best animatronics in the park and even in the resort. But yeah, that's probably the best part of the ride. And then the other parts of the ride is pretty mediocre. You guys might be surprised at this next one, number 8, but I'm gonna have to give it to Storm Force Acceleratron. And I don't know what it was about this. There's no seatbelts. So you're like spinning. Me and my brother-in-law, the first time I ever went on it, it's been the only time I've ever been on it, and it's in my number 8 spot in the park. You sit down and it just spins you. We weren't even spinning the actual thing that you're supposed to spin. We were just like spinning how the ride's supposed to spin, and we were sitting opposite from each other, and it literally pulled us together, and we were like spinning. Bro, this ride was way better than I was expecting it to be, and it exceeded expectations. It's pretty much like a teacups ride, like Mad Sea Party over at Magic Kingdom, but like 10 times better. It was so crazy. Next ride, lucky number 7, is going to be Jurassic Park River Adventure. This ride is pretty old. Like, you can tell that the age of it is showing. The animatronics aren't the best. It's still a fun ride though, and the reason I have it at number 7 is because that drop hill. The dinosaur jumps out at you, you go zooming down the hill, and then you just get splashed with water all over your face. It is one of the funnest water experiences, but still being a decent ride even if it didn't have those water effects. I'm gonna go back to back with water rides, and the next one is Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls. This is gonna take the number 6 spot. It's pretty much just like River Adventure. The theming isn't as good. I think when you're off of the ride and you look at it, it's super beautiful. You have like the Mount Rushmore replica of some of the characters from the show. I haven't even seen the show, so I'm not really sure on the characters' names or anything, but the overall look of the ride is super cool, and the ride experience, you get absolutely soaked on this ride. If people say that Popeye and Bluto's, you get more soaked on that, it depends where you sit on that. With Dudley Do-Rights, it doesn't matter where you sit on the log, you'll get absolutely soaked. And that lift, or not the lift hill, but the final hill where you go down, it takes you back up. You think you're gonna go down into the water, obviously, but it takes you back up first and then you hit the water, and it is a super fun ride. You get absolutely soaked. Breaking into my top 5 is going to be the Incredible Hulk coaster. Get it? Because he breaks and he break in the top 5. All jokes aside though, this is like the OG coaster of the park. It's still super fun even if it is an old ride. It is very, very rough though. I've heard a lot of people say that they black out when they ride it after a certain point of the ride. You go up 4 times at this point and you start to black out. I personally haven't had that experience. I have sit in the very back row and I did get pretty dizzy, but I never really blacked out completely. So I'm going to have this at number 5. It's a super rough ride. You go upside down 7 times. So if you are going to ride it and you never have before, just know that it is going to be super rough and super intense. But yeah, that's going to take my number 5 spot. And for my number 4 spot, it is the last ride in Marvel's Superhero Island, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. This ride is absolutely crazy. Apparently it came out in 1999 when the park opened, and the technology they use for this, I still don't understand how this ride can be that old and that good. It is such a good ride for it being that old. There's so many cool effects, and it's kind of just like Transformers over in the other park, but 10 times better. We have officially made it into the top 3 rides in the park in my opinion. This is the podium rides, the cream of the crop, the best of the best, and we're going to start it off at number 3, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. This ride was absolutely mind-blowing the first time I ever went on it, because I've never been on a Kuka arm system, which is what the ride system is, and it jerks you around like crazy and takes you through these scenes. Like, you can see all these animatronics, you can see like the screens. Some people say they get dizzy. I personally never got dizzy from it, and I really like this ride. But I do have to say this: I went to Epic Universe a couple times recently and got to ride Monsters Unchained, which is pretty much the next Kuka Arm ride that Universal has ever made. It is the second they've ever made, and that ride is absolutely mind-blowing as well. I personally like it better than Forbidden Journey. I think a lot of people can agree if they have been on it, but this video isn't about Epic Universe, it's about Islands of Adventure. So yeah, Forbidden Journey is my number 3 ride. And for the last rides, there are 2 left. You can pretty much put these hand in hand. I feel like half of the people say they like one more and the other half say they like the other one more. I personally like my number 1 favorite ride in the park is Hagrid's Mythical Creature Motorbike Adventure, which means Velocicoaster is my number 2. I love both of these coasters a ton, but I have to say this: there's too many rides that can compare with Velocicoaster. Like, it goes upside down a few times, it has some launches, and there's some cool aspects of it, but there's other rides that have similar aspects. With Hagrid's, it kind of goes the same way, but there's 2 different ride experiences. You can sit on the side cart or the motorbike, you go backwards, you drop, and there are tons of launches on this ride. And the reason I have it over Velocicoaster is because it's just a more unique experience. There's animatronics, it tells a story, and there's so many cool aspects of the ride, and it feels like more of an experience than just a roller coaster. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Like and subscribe perhaps?